Hello and welcome to Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, where I discuss the future of this region blessed with hydrocarbon resources. Every week, we give time to reflecting on topics relevant to the development of the Niger Delta and her people. On this edition, we're doing that as well, focusing once again on how to take the region to a more promising future. A reminder, the program is sponsored by the operator of the NNPC SPDC Total Energies Active Joint Venture, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, headquartered in Port Harcourt. Thank you for joining. I'm Adidayo Ilushakin. Now, on today's edition of Canvas, we're focusing on the topic Empowering the Future, how Shell scholarship programs are helping to save lives. In this episode, we're diving into the incredible impact of Shell scholarship programs and how they are making a real difference in communities in the Niger Delta. Shell's commitment to education and empowerment is not just about providing financial support, it's about nurturing the next generation of leaders, innovators, and changemakers. These scholarships are opening doors for talented individuals who might not otherwise have the opportunity to pursue their dreams. We'll hear inspiring stories from a scholarship recipient who is using his education to drive positive change, advancing healthcare, and saving lives. Join us as we explore how Shell's investment in education is helping to build a brighter, more sustainable future for all. Again, the topic Empowering the Future, how Shell scholarship programs are helping to save lives. And my guest is Dr. Richard Ockiya. Dr. Richard Ockiya is a medical doctor. He is lead clinician in a private medical facility here in Port Harcourt. Dr. Ockiya, hello and welcome to Canvas on Air. It's great to have you here.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
I'm aware that you had to leave the hospital where you currently practice to be here today to make out time for this to record this podcast.
Yeah.
What's it like? What's it like being a doctor?
Okay. Well, it's amazing. I will be very honest with you. It's amazing because I think what I love most about it is the respect that comes with it. Everyone sees it as a noble profession. So once everyone sees that you're a doctor, they would want to respect you. They would want to give you your ways. Whatever you say automatically, becomes the correct thing to them. They don't just feel like you can be wrong. Whatever I say, it is it. Your yes is always yes to them. So I think that's what I like about it. Very well.
Now, I've never been a doctor, and I very likely never will be. So I need to know, asking you now, since you're a doctor, does a child know that they're going to be a doctor? That they're going to be a doctor? So did you know? When did you know? Did you know from your child? Is that how it happens? From childhood, you just know I'm going to be a doctor.
Well, let me be very honest. No, it's not from childhood I knew. In fact, growing up as a child, I don't think I wasn't really, exposed to much education like this. Those waterside boys. Let me put it like that.
Okay.
Those of them that know those waterside boys. You wake up in the morning as early as 5 a.m. You go to the waterside. You go and swim. You go with your friends. And then you come back late in the night. And by the time you come back, your mom is beating the hell out of you. Read your book, you won't read. Go to school, you won't go to school. All you know how to do is just wake up and, go and have fun. So growing up, I never thought about all this, but thank God for, some very supportive siblings I had. They had to, take it upon themselves to take me out from that place I was and bring me to the city. So I had to start everything all over again. So growing up, I never saw myself. Rather, I saw myself, wanting to build aircraft, as the time went by, wanting to build aircraft or build bridges. I just saw in the aspect of construction. Let me put it like that. I don't know. Maybe growing up again, I just saw some other inspirations, and I think my old man was was one of it. So that was when I was like, okay, I'm going to do medicine.
Okay, we'll
I
come
want to
back
put
to
it like
that
that.
point in a moment. At the
Yeah.
point where you determined or decided it was going to be medicine and you were
Okay.
going to be a doctor. But let's go back to the expression water side boys. Okay, what exactly, for those who don't know, what exactly does that mean or imply?
Water side boys. It's those kids, it's those children that they grow up in those rural communities that it's surrounded by rivers and seas. Like people from Okrika, Kalabari,
And yours was where exactly?
mine was Okrika,
Okay.
Bolo to be precise. So there is a huge river, just surrounding your community. So you virtually go and do everything there, down from bathing to easing yourself to defecating. Every single thing is done inside that water. So we used to call ourselves water side boys because we go there and we play from morning till night. You even forget you're hungry. You'll just be going there, you play, and that was it. Make friends and a whole community. That was how it was.
Did you, sounds like it was a lot of fun. Was it a lot of fun?
It was a very. It was very. It's just that there were other things that I couldn't do in the aspect of let's come to education. I wasn't concerned about all those things. I just felt this was how life was for me. That was how it was. I was very young.
Was there access? I mean, you had access to the water, no doubt, from what you say, and there was ample time to play and all of that. But did you have access to? I mean, it's one thing to avail yourself of the access, but was there access to education in your community at the time?
Yes, there was. There was access to education. I think it was more of the Anglican Church school. It was
Okay.
more of the Anglican Church that was providing the school.
Mm.
And so that was the.
So you were enrolled in school,
Yes, I was.
primary school,
I think it's nursery.
nursery, okay,
Nursery primary.
nursery,
Yes,
primary,
nursery primary.
but you just would not go.
Lie. I would not go. Even if I go, I wasn't learning anything. I can't do ABC. I can't do 1, 2, 3. Nothing.
And then years after, you're a medical doctor today.
Yes, exactly.
How did that happen? How did you make a transition from not caring about your studies, not caring about education, going to the water side, as you put it, with your friends every day, to play for literally the whole day? How did you make a transition from that to actually getting an education and beginning on that path to becoming a doctor?
Okay. I would say there were basically 3 factors that played into that. One is environmental factor. Um, Second was parental or family, factor, and third was your um, personal, choice, your personal decision. In terms of environment, you had to. Environment plays a major role when you're bringing up a child, whether you like it or not. Environment plays a major role. So they had to bring me out, from that water side, that village, and say, come and stay in the city and be this. We don't want you to be like this, like other persons that you see. So that was, the decision was made by my parents and siblings. So that's the second factor, I mentioned. So when they said that, I said, okay. I think at a point I started, trying to understand some things. I was seeing everything that was going on. I was like, Daddy, when am I going back to Bulu? Nobody wanted to take me there. Over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't think I went back. Okay, 2 years, yes, I don't think I went back. I was just, stayed in the city. And then the point where I had to make that personal decision was when they would leave me at home in the house. It's funny, but don't see it in the wrong aspect.
No, of course
They would
not.
they would all go out and they would leave me alone in the house. Why? Because I don't know how to speak English. I don't know how to, say anything. All I know is just my local dialect. You get, somebody can just walk up to me, ask you, "Hey, how are you?" I'm not even understanding what you're saying because I do not understand English. So they would leave me at home in the house, and there's a lesson teacher that will be there, and he would have to start, doing everything that I was meant to have, known 3-4 years back. You get, so I had to make that personal choice of, okay, let me learn this thing so that I can be going out.
Wow.
I can be going out with my cousin and my other friends of my age. So I think that was what happened. So those were the three factors that get played a role in
And
doing
it sounds to
that.
me like those first two factors are very critical.
Very
If those
critical.
first two factors had not taken root, the third one possibly wouldn't have.
Yes, exactly. That is why I mentioned it as the last one.
I see two phases of your childhood here. The first one when you were the waterside, when you didn't give we didn't have a care in the world about anything
Yes.
except the waterside and playing with your friends. And then after you were brought to the city, and by the way, the city I guess was Port Harcourt.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now, at what point did you start to have dreams and aspirations and I'd like to be this in the future, or I'd like to amount to something? What did that happen when you were still in the waterside or after you
Oh, can never happen while I was in the water side though. I what think happened. It was when I was in the city. In fact, precisely when I think in my secondary school. That was it, yes. During my secondary school days, that was when I had to take that conscious decision that I want to be this. Because I saw a lot of, how will I put it? I saw a lot of things that wasn't just fair to me sometimes. So I was like, okay, I want to be this. And like I said earlier, my old man had that is my father. He had a big role to play. Sometimes I tell myself I basically did this medicine just because of him. You know, he just wanted a doctor in the family. You get, and I wanted to be an architect or civil engineer or even an astronaut. Those were the things. I don't know what just happened. I just felt like, okay, let me do this medicine. I don't know why. Maybe I think at a point, one of my siblings, my elder sister, she was like, better do something that you can grab onto as quickly as possible because you don't understand what is happening, the way the country is going, this, that. And then I just knew my dad wanted medicine. I just knew he wanted, even though he didn't push me, in that area. I just knew he wanted a medical doctor for a child. So I was like, okay, let me do it. So he has like 50% role to play, let me put it like that. And then that's conscious decision for me. And at the point of filling jam form, I can remember very well that day. That was the point I just changed. My first choice was medicine, second choice was architecture. That was it. And I had all the papers to make, both of them. So I just had to put medicine first choice. That was what happened.
You're a doctor now. A
Yeah.
lot of water has gone under the bridge. However, I've read and I've heard several theories as regards children and career paths. And more often than not, theories suggest that parents shouldn't have an overbearing influence or determine for their children what career path they decide to toe. However, from what you're saying, your dad had a significant influence on that. Now, once again, you're a doctor already. I think that's a good thing, or that is a good thing. But for you, did everything turn out okay? Because you say, and you've said for yourself that you studied medicine for your dad. Was that a good thing in your case?
Yes, it was. It was very. In fact, I'm so happy I did it. I'm very happy I did it. It was a very good thing. Let me just say it like that. It was very good.
Okay,
I
great.
don't even regret it.
Okay, all right. So, you were a recipient of a Shell University scholarship.
Yes.
Why? Why did you need a scholarship? let's start from there before we go into the show aspect of things. Did you need a scholarship, or why did you even try to get a scholarship in the first place?
It's as if Shell just knew. I needed a scholarship because um things were, a little bit difficult. Let me just say they were difficult. They were a little bit difficult because um I'm like the I'm like the last, second to last born in a huge polygamous family. So my father was already in his late he was already in his mid 70s
Wow.
while I was in uni.
Okay.
So you can imagine he was in his mid 70s, like 72 thereabout, while I was in his uni. So how do you want somebody that is 70 something years old to, care for someone that is in university studying medicine?
He was a retiree already, I suppose.
Yes, and they won't pay. You know how, let me not go there, but it was,
Oh,
difficult.
feel free
So
to go there if you want. If you want to.
well, you know, when you retire, before the government will want to pay you all your pension
Okay, he
benefits
worked in
or
the public
gratuity,
service.
he worked in the military
Okay.
and retired, then went into private business. Let me
Okay.
put it like that. And then all the private business just it wasn't flourishing like before. Some businesses have when they, trend. Like if you see some clubhouses now, today you'll be like, so club now in the rain now. Before you know, next year now, you're not hearing that club again. Everybody's like, there's a new joint in town. So you get that was how it
Sounds
was.
like you like joints.
Yes, I do. So yes, I needed it because there was nothing to support. There was nothing to, I always had to rely on him at a point. I always had to rely on him. I was like, oh my dad, so time has come with this, that, and you will struggle to, collect money. Even people that are paying rent won't pay because everything was tough for everybody. So it was difficult. So yes, I needed it.
So how did you learn or hear about the Shell scholarship?
How did I learn or hear about it? One was again from my sister. She was one. Then secondly, when you just get admission and all those cyber cafe guys, they will just collect all your documents. They would want to do the clearance, registrations, all those things for you. So one of them, I don't know what happened. I just told him, I was like, Sammy, I need money. How can I get money in this while I'm in this place? He was like, you that is doing medicine, try and be applying for scholarship now. And I was like, which one is scholarship? That is it like everything will be free? And he now, sat down and explained to me, you have this and they give you so amount of funds, yearly, and then you can use it to pay off or sponsor whatever you are doing. So I learned it mostly from those cyber cafe guys. Those guys are very key. Hold them.
There's Sabi Road.
Yes, I'm telling you, hold them.
But I
But
hear
be
that
careful
I hear
also.
some of them can lead you in on the
Yes,
wrong road as well.
exactly. So they can lead you, astray. So they can lead you and scam you. So you
But
just have to tread cautiously
but
and
But
always
Sam
ask.
led you on the right way.
Yes, he led me on the right way. Yeah, and I always tread, cautiously. I always asked questions. Whenever I know something, there is this, mentor of mine. I would always have. I'll be like, Chief, have you heard of something like this? Is there anything like that? Will not tell you yes. Will not be like, go and do this, do it like this, do it like this. So questions. I always asked around.
Okay, so Sam told you about scholarships. You learned about the Shell scholarship from your sister. You applied for it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you got the notification that your application was successful? How
I was very, very very shocked that day. I don't know. I was shocked because that is not the only scholarship I applied for. I was shocked. So I was shocked and I was very happy. And then I now became tense. I was like, oh boy, I need to prepare because I think they gave us about 5 days notice or so to the exams. So I dropped every other thing I was doing I was like, I beg, this course should wait. I now had to go and get, questions, similar questions, people that had written. I had to go and ask them, how far? How is this, exams? How should I approach it? So I was happy, tense, mixed feelings all at the time. So I just,
Okay, that was you preparing for the
yeah,
exam.
preparing, yeah.
Okay, now you that's it's a very important. I think that you noted that you consulted those who had written the application exam or something, before, and they guided you,
Yeah.
and then you wrote the exam, and then I imagine it took some time between writing and finding out what the outcome was.
Yes.
So, do you
yes.
remember when you were notified that your application was successful? Do you remember that moment precisely? How you found out?
That is, my application was
Yeah,
successful
that you
and
passed
I've
the
been
exam.
shortlisted.
Exactly.
I can remember. I think that it was in the morning. The cyber cafe guy posted.
Oh, Sam again.
It was like those that applied for SPDC scholarship. They started shortlisting. So I was using my Yahoo Mail. I haven't created a Gmail then. So I now logged in. I was having network wahala. How to that use my friend's phone and log in. And then I now saw where I saw that I've been shortlisted. So I was in my hostel then. It was in the afternoon, I think, or on the weekend or so. I was just, as I saw it, I was just happy. That was all. I can remember. I can just, the moments are playing, but they are not very clear like that.
Were you 100, 200 level is on?
I think I was in 200 level then. I
Okay.
had just finished 100 level, entering 200 level. Yes.
Okay. Did you call anyone to inform them?
The first person I called. Okay, no. The first person I called was my roommate.
Okay.
Yeah, I called my roommate then. Then I now called my sister. Yes, that's what I did.
You didn't call Sam?
Sam, I called him now. I called him. I was like, oh boy, this thing don't enter for me. He was the one that gave me the past question. Of course, all is for him to sell his market now. So I bought the past quizzes. Whether it is past quizzes or not, I don't know. He just said it's past quizzes. So I bought it like, I think 2.5 or 1.5 or so then. So I just bought it and that was what happened.
I know you touched on it briefly earlier on, but if you could expand somewhat, what challenges did you face or encounter before receiving the Shell University scholarship, and how did the scholarship help you overcome these challenges?
Okay, challenges I encountered. Well, I wouldn't really say I encountered challenges like that that much, because despite the fact that things were a bit difficult, the old man was meeting up. He was trying to meet up, but that's the aspect of calling and waiting. I don't know how to call someone for something most of the time. I don't know whether it's a man, it's a masculine thing. I don't know.
No, or maybe it's just your thing.
Or maybe it's just me. I don't know how to call someone. So having to call him every time. Like, I mean, the man knows. He knows. Don't think he doesn't know. He knows that it's time to pay off this. It's time to get this. It's time to, do this for him. And then you'll be calling to remind him. I feel like it was even adding more, burden to him, even emotional wise. So, all those things they were major challenges for me. In my mind, I was like, I wish I'll just see money. I'll just pay this thing like this now and allow this man to rest. But then again, I was like, I don't want to sound so, how do I put it? I don't want to sound so irresponsible, but it wasn't really much of my responsibility at that point in time. Like, what do I know? What do I know? So instead, I would rather try to, put my hands on one or two things. So all those things were challenges. They were challenging, trying to put my hands into one or two things to get this one and all those things. And then imagine wanting to study medicine with all those things. And then you'd be calling. Easy.
So the Shell scholarship came to the rescue someone.
Very, very
I didn't have to
much.
call anyone regularly.
At all.
Okay. We've been on the interview now on the podcast for about 20 minutes now. Before I came for the recording today, I checked out some medical terms. So I have to ask you this. So, what's the prognosis for this for this session right now?
Okay, the progress is. Let me not be plain. Let me say the progress is good. Let me say that.
No, I want you to be plain. That's why
Well,
I
I
asked.
wanted to say the progress is guarded. That is, I can't tell till the end. Just see as it goes. That is, go with the flow. Let me say
Okay.
that, but let me be more optimistic and say the progress is good.
All right. It is Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by SPDC. We are discussing empowering the future, how Shell scholarship programs are helping save lives. My guest is a medical doctor, Dr. Richard Ockiya, a Shell scholar. We'll go for a break. We'll return in a moment. Conversation will continue. Do please stay with us.
Our yellow and black markers indicate pipeline and flow line right-of-way boundaries. Your activity could impact on the buried high-pressure hydrocarbon pipelines and flow lines, leading to possible leaks and explosion. Please keep off. Do not engage in sand mining or any form of excavation, pipeline vandalism, oil theft, and bush burning within pipeline and flow line right-of-way. Do not farm, trade, or locate any business on pipeline and flow line right-of-way. It is against the law to apportion land, sell, or build on pipeline and flow line right-of-way. Maintain a setback distance of at least 30 meters or about 100 feet from the right-of-way boundaries always. We care for your safety and that of the environment.
This message is brought to you by the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, SPDC, operator of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, Total Energies, and Ajib Joint Venture.
Welcome back. It is Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by SPDC. I'm Dyer. On this edition, we're discussing empowering the future, how Shell's scholarship programs are helping to save lives. My guest is in the business of saving lives. He's a medical doctor. He also, at some point, was a Shell scholar, a recipient of a Shell University scholarship. Dr. Richard Ockiya. Hello, you're welcome again.
Thank you very much.
If I didn't mention earlier, it's great to have you here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you share your journey, how Shell Scholarship has impacted your academic life and your career as well?
Well, how Shell Scholarship has impacted my academic life.
And leading up to your career even
Leading
now
up
as
to
well.
my career.
Yes.
if not, like, I mean, me answering the name alone, it's,
What name?
adding doctor to my name. It's enough evidence that,
Odoki.
or Doki, anyone. It's enough evidence that, of course, it's all because of Shell. It's all because of Shell, because whether they knew it or not, they had a very huge role to play. Because I wouldn't be able to proceed in each year, without that money. Getting the textbooks, initially I didn't even have like a good phone to, some persons used to download the medical textbooks and be reading on a much bigger phone and all. I wasn't all that tech savvy then. So it was from that money I was able to get a phone. I was able to get some of my year 2 textbooks. And then before I was able to start downloading some of them, and by the time each year went by, when it's time to pay the school fees, when it's time to pay for the examination fees, when it's time to pay for whatever fees necessary, I would even do so before I call home. You get? So, it impacted a great benefit on the academic aspect, and from the academic aspect, led to my career. And I think 2 years going on now, I'm still very much, happy and grateful.
How about the old man? I mean, at some point before the scholarship came, you had to call him periodically, say, old man or dad, whatever you called him.
Yeah.
It's time, or even though you didn't like to make those calls, but you had to at some point. But I suspect that with the self scholarship, you didn't have to make those calls
As frequently as
again.
before,
So how
yes.
how did he handle that? How did he respond to this?
To the share scholarship.
Yes, and you not having to make those regular calls, and him not having to hustle
Okay.
so much to meet those needs any longer.
Okay, let me tell you guys a secret. I didn't tell you.
By the way,
I didn't tell
quick
you.
question: Is this still with us?
No, it's not.
Oh my! Oh,
It's not.
accept my sympathies, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so go on. You didn't tell him.
No, I didn't tell him, because if I know my father well. If I tell him, every other thing, we just be like, but don't you have that money? How would they pay it this year? He will just be banking on that. And as the year goes by, the country becomes harder and harder. Is it from that money that you want me to use and feed myself throughout the school and all?
Wait, Doki, wait. I know that this podcast is going to go national and even international, but let's be a bit open here. So wait, so you were collecting shell money, and you were still collecting from the old man as well.
And now, share money was to pay for school fees and the rest. The old man was to cater for my needs.
But the old man was still paying school fees also.
No, he wasn't paying.
Are we just saying that for the podcast? Okay, I believe you.
Believe me like that.
I believe you. How was the scholarship? I'm still asking about the scholarship, I know. But even though you've accomplished quite a lot for yourself,
Yeah, a lot.
congratulations, really.
Thank you.
I've spoken to medical doctors. When I was much younger, I had friends who were doctors in training. Even on this podcast, before us recording this one, I've had the pleasure of also having, I think, at least 2 doctors on the podcast already. So I've heard stories about what it means to study medicine. And I know it's not the easiest course to study in the world. And in spite of these accomplishments, I imagine that you have other goals, aspirations that you still hope or want to accomplish in life. And so how has the scholarship influenced those future goals or aspirations that you might still have?
Okay. When I got that scholarship, I saw it as a helping hand being stretched out to me in the point of need. Let me put it like that. There is a way that scholarship money always comes.
You want to drink some water?
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go.
There is a way the money always comes at that exact point that you did it. I don't know how they know.
Was it an alert?
Eh?
Was it an
Yes,
alert?
sir, always.
Okay.
It will just come, pick, and you just see it. So I always felt like it always came at the point of need. So now, how has it influenced my, my future goals and the rest? Before I would say, you would think I'm the type that I don't care about. I don't care that, but just that, all those things made me to be like, man, I need to be helping some people in this world. Not everyone is as privileged as I am. Like, going back, looking at childhood, from childhood, the 2 phases and the rest. There are some persons that they were not able, to take them out from that place, again, from that water side, like me. So I felt like, because I've been able to receive this, I should be able to, reciprocate and help 1 or 2 others. So most of my goals is towards trying to help other people to be better.
Let's talk about that. How are you using your education to make a difference in your community and also especially in your field?
Yes. So, after having let me say at the beginning of the career, or right even from university itself, um I was always like, how can I use this my medical knowledge to reach out to other people. So you know, I had to join some community service organizations and the rest. Like I happen to be a member of a Rotaract club, and I don't even know, they just I just handed over as president. So we would hold lots of projects in the aspect, ranging from amongst the seven amongst the SDG, the Sustainable Developmental Goals. So we focus on about seven of it. So we would hold projects in all those areas, and it ranges from maternal and child health to clean water and environmental sanitation and everything. So my medical knowledge background, I was able to use it, with this with through this organization to render the services to every other community, from rural communities to, mention it. Participated in a lot of that.
All right. Interesting. So you're a member of the Rotaract Club. 'Cause I know I'm not a member. Never have been. Maybe in the future. I know you have. I don't remember how it's classified.
Yeah,
Is it units
there are many.
So I'd like you to rep yours. It's
Okay, mine is Rotaract Club of Port Harcourt Seaports. Yes,
That's what it's
Rotaract Club
called?
Yes,
Oh,
Rotaract
okay.
Club of Port Harcourt Seaports. Under District 9149, District 9141. That is the the district is like, it holds all the Rotaract clubs in a particular region.
Yeah.
And the region for District 9141 is Rivers, Bayelsa, Edo, Delta states. Those four.
Okay. No. You've repped your club. I'm sure they're all proud of you. I'm sure they're right
They
now.
should be proud.
Absolutely. I'm sure they're proud of you as well.
Yes, they should.
So, from your perspective, how do scholarships like Shells contribute to the overall improvement of educational standards and opportunities?
Okay. How does it improve educational standards? Well, if you look now, education is not cheap anymore. In fact, university education, I would say, let me give it a plus for the government. It's actually cheap compared to, when you travel to other countries. You don't have to be wondering on how you pay off student loan, student debts, and all those things. So how did it, how did the Shell scholarship benefit to that? For most persons now, it will be very difficult paying. Those fees, all those important things to do. Because currently now, I'm aware that the federal government now has increased, school fees. So most federal schools are charging in hundreds of thousands compared to before. Then you could pay like 20-something thousand, 30-something thousand, 40-something
But even then, it was hard to come by for many persons.
Yes,
Even at that, even
yes.
then, yeah.
Like me, even then it was hard to come by. Now talk more of now. So it's giving those persons that have gotten the admission more educational opportunities, because they will be able to focus on whatever they want to focus on. I don't know. I would just put it like that. I just feel like it has reduced some non-educational burdens, and make them to be more concentrated so as to increase those educational.
Do you think it might even
opportunities.
encourage some persons who may not hitherto have thought of furthering their education to start thinking about it because of
Yes,
the
exactly.
possibility of getting a scholarship, either
Yes.
from Shell or elsewhere? Do you think that could happen as well?
Yes, I didn't even mention self. I think when I was in secondary school, I wrote the Shell scholarship exams, but I didn't get it.
Okay.
I went to Navy, one of the schools. I think that was the center they use at Burikri.
Is that a credit to career scholarship?
Yes.
Okay, for secondary
Yes.
school, basically.
Yes,
Okay,
for
okay,
secondary school.
Alright.
I know I didn't get it. So I think that was even where my mom even, thought about it because they were like, don't worry, when you enter, you will get share scholarship this year. So yes, so just knowing that, so something like this exists, more persons would want to be educationally inclined. They'll be like, where will I have support from? Shell is there for you. Where will I be able to do this? Shell is there for you. So it has increased those, educational opportunities.
Now, once again, you've been a doctor how many years now?
This should be 2 years now.
2 years now, being a doctor.
This should be 2 years.
I can imagine, or I imagine it's been quite a journey for you from childhood to this point. When you think back, whenever you have those reflective moments, and maybe even in the course of this interview or this podcast, you've had one or two reflective moments. When you think back to that child that was always going to the water side to jump in the water and play with friends who had no care in the world, and then all of those years have gone by, all the, pun intended, water under the bridge. And now, 2 years as a doctor, and before we started recording this podcast, I mean, you were sending the message, something about transfusion, you were reacting to a medical need or responding to a medical need somewhere and all of that.
Yes.
And I think that, I imagine that's a regular thing for you. So when you think back to that boy who had no care in the world, couldn't even understand the English language, let alone, communicate in the English language, and you look at where you are now, how do you think? How do you feel? What do you think? What comes to mind?
Only one word. Grace. Grace. I just feel I was very, very opportune. I feel very happy every day. Sometimes when I tell people that, it's crazy. You get. So one word. Grace, and very grateful, happy.
There are several other young persons in the Niger Delta here. Some of them secondary school level, some not yet primary school, some maybe even in tertiary education, or some who are in between, still wondering, should I continue my education? How am I going to do it? Like you said, it's even worse now than then. Tuition fees are skyrocketing. Everything's skyrocketing, actually. Inflation is unbelievable. What advice would you give to students who are aspiring to apply and hoping to secure scholarships like the Shell scholarship? Do you have any advice for them?
Yes. Well,
oh, that required a sip of water.
Okay. There's always one statement that's, let me not say statement, it's more like a saying that I've always lived by. For every single decision you make, the first step towards implementing it's always very difficult, it's always very taxful, and it's going to come with so many minus, it's going to come with so many negativities. So what I just want to prove to you is that at that point where you feel like it's not working, and then you'll be like, let me apply for this one. You'll be like, maybe that one where I applied for last time, they don't even call me. They call other people this one. I don't know, then they do this one, all those kind of things. Don't be discouraged, basically. Just, do it and always hope for the best. Because that was what I did. I was just doing it and praying and always hoping for the best. I was like, I need to get this thing, so that I will stop disturbing so. I'll stop calling so. In fact, I need to get this so that sometimes I can just, go out, sit out, and even if it's buy 2 shawarma for myself, things like that. So just have a picture of what you want to be at that time. That is in the future. Just have that future picture and use it to motivate yourself. Don't allow negativities to enter you. So don't really give up. Just take it serious. Do it. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, apply for apply. Just apply. There's always next year. Apply again.
What's the most challenging aspect of being a doctor now, a medical doctor, and how do you deal with it?
The most challenging aspect till now. Okay, there are times the challenges are a lot, because I would say one of them that I do not even really like is, for some moments, sometimes I don't even like introducing myself as a doctor, because automatically when you introduce when they just know you're a doctor, they just want to expect a lot from you, and it's not there. It's not there. So the challenge of trying to keep up to that society standard, everybody knows, doctor get this one. It's not like that. So don't that's constantly being wanting to put yourself under pressure because of society has shaped us. Hey, doctor can go to anywhere he wants, stand. Doctor get money, this one, all those things. That is a challenge to me. I don't know about other people. It's a challenge to me. And then till now, I've not gotten used to it. Whenever you manage a patient and it's a very critically ill patient, and that the patient is just like the prognosis. That the prognosis is just bad. And especially when it comes to a child, that's that mind of going to tell them that this your case is like this. So sometimes you will tell them, and the normal Nigerian this thing, God forbid, doctor, why they talk like that? Go and do your work. In fact, I faced this day before yesterday. A young boy, 17 years old, came, and I didn't know how to tell the parents that, look, this your son is already gone.
Oh.
So you just have to try your best, try. So the aspect of breaking bad news, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's because I think breaking bad news and the pressure that they put on us, it's a challenge for me.
We have to wrap this up shortly, but do you still keep in touch with Sam?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's nice. I'm sure you have both come a long way.
Yes, we have.
Over the years.
We have.
Oh, great. That's nice. How about your sister? How is she?
I live with her.
Great.
I live with her.
Any final words come to mind, very briefly?
Final words?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy for the invitation, and I've shared quite a bit of story. I think most persons will not even know these other aspects of my life. So I'm just very grateful. Till tomorrow, I always say it. I'm very grateful to part of the sponsors of my university education that I share. I don't think half of all these things would be possible without them. You get to. Final words is I'm just grateful, and for those that are outside and you think it's not going to work, just keep trying. It's going to work out. That's it.
And that's it. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Canvas in Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by SPDC. We have considered empowering the future, how Shell's scholarships are helping to save lives. My guest, once again, is literally in the business of saving lives. Dr. Richard Ockiya, a Shell scholar, one-time recipient of a Shell University scholarship. Dr. Ockiya, thank you for your time, for the work that you do, and wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
I'm Adedayo Lushakin, and a fresh edition will be on next week. Check out our platforms, different social media platforms to view all the episodes, and do have a great time. Bye for now.